It's time for Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero. When it comes to news on 95.1 FM, weather always comes first. Life-threatening storm surge, hurricane-force winds, considerable flash flooding, and tornadoes are forecast across much of southern Louisiana and the Mississippi coast as a result of Hurricane Francine. Now, Francine is going to continue to track across western Mississippi into the Mid-South today and tomorrow. Heavy rainfall is likely and may lead to areas of flooding. Closer to home, warm and dry conditions will continue across the area through the remainder of the work week with deep southwesterly flow. Temperatures will stay warmer than average. With dry air in place, we're going to see plenty of sunshine and very few clouds. Now this weekend, we could see an increase in clouds and moisture as weak remnants from a tropical system works its way in from the south. This will bring back rain and storm chances over the weekend into early next week. We'll have another look at the weather following this news. Yesterday was the Otero County Commission meeting. Lots of new business. We're only going to touch on a couple. Request approval of a resolution supporting the New Mexico County's 2025 legislative priorities.
Every year the New Mexico board meets and we kind of come up with the priorities that we think that would be good for us to fight for in the legislature. That's what this is. Do you guys have any questions on it or?
When we went to the affiliate meeting for the commissioners, we said animal control was going to be on there.
Yeah.
What happened?
It didn't get the votes. You have to, everybody gets so many votes. Well, you get one vote for each, you get 3 votes and you get to vote for what you think is a priority, and that didn't make the. That
passed 3-0. And discuss Keep Otero County Beautiful.
To execute this program, we need a board, and so far we've only had 2 applicants, and I believe that's for 5 spots.
I believe so.
Yeah,
yes.
so we need at least 3 more, and normally you could vet those, but right now we're kind of at the begging spot. So I know a lot of people are concerned and like to complain, either to you via the telephone or online on social media. This is where the rubber meets the road, and people can actually do something. So
that was a no-vote issue. A huge topic was discuss and consider whether or not Otero County should consolidate Otero County volunteer fire departments. Now, we've seen this before, and nothing happened again. Just can't seem to get on or off square one on this one. You can see the meeting in full on the Otero County YouTube channel. The Alamogordo Senior Center is hosting Health Fair 2024. I spoke with Gloria.
We're going to have over 40 vendors. We're going to have Albertsons Pharmacy giving out the flu shots and the COVID-19 shots. We're going to have over 40 vendors, like I said, and they're going to be giving out information like what Medicare you should be doing, different doctors here in town that'll be doing hearing. We have Desert Dawn people coming in and doing the water. We have a variety of different vendors coming in.
That's from 9 to 1. And then at 1 o'clock, there's another event as well.
We're also going to have another presentation on pig butchering. It's called pig butchering, and I know it's kind of deceiving, but it's going to be a presenter, and he's going to be talking about people who are trying to scam the seniors, and that's going to be from 1 to 2.
That's this Saturday. See the Alamo Senior Center Facebook page for details. Be advised that on Monday, September 16th, the bridge located west of the intersection of Washington Avenue and 10th Street will be under construction. Please anticipate lane closures, detours, and congestion during this time, as work will commence both on the north and south sides of the bridge. This is going to result in a slower speed limit down to around 25 miles per hour, and that's along 10th Street between Utah and Washington. Be advised of paint striping, water blasting, and thermo marking. That's going to be performed for multiple areas of Alamogordo, beginning on Friday, September 20th through Friday, September 27th. Paint striping will occur in the daytime. All water blasting and thermo marking will occur overnight. For each scheduled date, please exercise caution and avoid the affected areas. And you can see a list of the areas by visiting the City of Alamogordo Facebook page. Residents and business owners should avoid parking on the affected streets, and please remove any parked vehicles off the roads during those times. The contractor, Prestigious Paving, was awarded striping in fiscal year 24 in the amount of $94,000. Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham says her cabinet secretaries will host community events in Ruidoso in order to provide help and information for those residents still recovering after the South Fork and Salt fires earlier this summer. The state is planning to provide information on Medicaid, unemployment benefits, career counseling, and give out food boxes, books, backpacks, and free resources. The events are going to be happening on Friday, September 20th at 3 at the Inn of the Mountain Gods. A community town hall will follow from 5:30 until 7. The second event is planned for Saturday, September 21st at 11 a.m. at the Ruidoso High School cafeteria. A town hall meeting will happen following that event at the Ruidoso School Performing Arts Center from 1 to 4. Well, today is Thursday. It's time for a Thursday Thought from our good friend, Pastor Lauren Noble.
Good morning, 95.1 listeners. This is Pastor Lauren with our Thursday Thought. I've been thinking a lot lately about life and what is its purpose. If the purpose of life is to acquire money and possessions, likely many, or most of us, would fail miserably at attaining that goal, especially in today's economy, and it doesn't seem to be improving. And I thought about, is the meaning of life about making acquaintances or friends? I have lots of both of them, especially acquaintances, but if they were removed from my life suddenly, what would be left would be a vacancy, and it would be not filled. It would still be lacking purpose if that's what I based my life's purpose upon. However, in Ecclesiastes chapter 12, 13, and 14, it tells us that the purpose of life, King Solomon said, was the end of the matter has been heard. Fear God and keep his commands, for this is the whole duty of man. For God will bring into judgment with every secret thing, good or evil. And I think that's really important to remember. The whole duty of man and the whole purpose of life is to be in a relationship with God and to be where we are in communication with him and talk to him on a daily basis, which sometimes I don't do too well at either. But anyway, let me say a prayer for us. Lord, help us to remember that life is not about material possessions or friends. Though friends are certainly good and they are helpful in time of need, but the purpose of life is to be in a relationship with you and to serve you, and to remember that everything we do on earth at some point in time and will be judged, both good and bad, and nobody is going to escape judgment. Amen. Until we meet up again on the airwaves, blessings to you.
News from around the state in just a moment. You're listening to Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.
Local news from local perspectives, from local voices. AlamogordoTownNews.org. Local sports, local events, and local happenings and more. Nonprofit owned and operated by Second Life Media. We are Otero County. AlamogordoTownNews.org. Heard daily on Crazy KALH Radio 95.1.
Directory Plus is the right size book. It's the book if you need a phone book.
That's what just one person has to say about Directory Plus. With its red cover, features, colorful yellow pages, and lots more, it's no wonder people all over use Directory Plus.
It has so much more information. You can cross-check phone numbers or addresses or pretty much anything.
Look on the plus side, Directory Plus.
I'm a big fan of Directory Plus.
A judge sentenced Casper Rickards to life behind bars for killing 2 people over the course of 4 months in Albuquerque. Back in February, a jury convicted him of the October 2022 murder of Isaac Torres. In July, he pled guilty to the February 2023 murder of Bradley Souza. Police arrested Rickards in February of 2023 after a SWAT standoff. They also arrested 33-year-old Melvin Robinson at that time. Rickards will be spending a minimum of 30 years in prison for the 2 murders. Chaparral Middle School was put on lockdown yesterday morning after school administrators received a threat that someone was inside the school building with a gun. After a thorough investigation by law enforcement and the Gadsden ISD security personnel, it was determined the threat was unsubstantiated. This marks the 2nd consecutive day that a false report regarding a safety concern has been issued in Chaparral. The Las Cruces community continues to address a growing homeless population and a rise in crime. Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham spoke with KFOX at one of the areas in Cruces where an empty dirt lot became a makeshift homeless encampment.
New Mexico is like the 3rd most dangerous state in America.
Yeah, congratulations on that accomplishment, Governor. Now, what is she going to do about the homeless issue?
I brought many experts from places like LA and Dallas and Washington, D.C. to a mayor's conference to talk to local leaders about what is it that we need to be doing to improve the quality of life and supports for people who are unhoused, who are victims and vulnerable, And what do we do about the intersection of public safety? And it's growing faster than we can manage.
She said the problem is bigger than these individuals not having a roof over their heads, as there are very specific issues in drug dealing, fentanyl, underworld, and a very vulnerable population that's caught in that environment. She said she's willing to put real money to help address the situation and the needs that are at stake.
Dispersing money out of my $20 million fund. We're hiring people. Our housing experts already been to this community. They're looking at places to develop affordable housing. I have more than $200 million for housing, which can be leveraged with federal funds, which can turn into $500 million pretty readily.
Did you catch that? Her $20 million? Reminder, that came out of our wallets. She claims her goal is 30,000 houses in a year. Officials with the New Mexico State Police and the Department of Public Safety went before the Courts, Corrections, and Justice Committee, stating that current laws are handicapping prosecutors in DWI trials.
Pre-2016, if I made a traffic stop and had reason to believe the person was too impaired to safely drive and they ended up getting arrested for DWI, what happened next was I would give them the option to either blow into a breath machine, give me a blood draw, or both. In the event they said no to any of those, I was able to charge aggravated DWI for the refusal.
That was New Mexico State Police Lieutenant Curtis Ward. State police say if a driver does not consent to a blood draw, officers must now get a warrant and can only do so in felony arrests. The group argues that the rule is allowing some drivers to get away unpunished and leaving officers with very little evidence to bring trial in non-felony cases. The group is asking lawmakers to create policy that will allow police to request blood test warrants in misdemeanor cases. They state that evidence from that testing could lead to more convictions and reduce the number of reoffenses. The U.S. Air Force is proposing to increase combat training above the Gila and the surrounding region, which would also include significantly lowering supersonic jet flights over the catwalk and Gila wilderness. Patrice Munchnick, the director of the conservation and education organization Heart of the Gila, told KRWG about how this would affect the region if passed.
Our main concern is the changes that are proposed for the different operation areas. One of the main concerns is that they want to lower the flight ceiling for the flight floor for supersonic jets and the combat maneuvers to 5,000 feet from 30,000 feet. So these are sonic boom type flights. And in other areas, they want to actually lower the flight floor to 100 feet above the ground level.
You can hear that conversation in full on the KRWG website. Sports and weather are coming up next. This is Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.
They are role models and educators. Their work requires a great deal of time and energy for very little pay. Who are these unsung heroes?
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
The simple truth about education-based athletics in New Mexico is this. Without a committed team of coaches and administrators, they just wouldn't be possible. School sports, they bring out the best in all of us. This message presented by the New Mexico Activities Association and the New Mexico Athletic Directors Association.
There are 24 matches for New Mexico volleyball today, including Capitan at Elida, Chaparral at Cobre, and Tularosa heads to West Las Vegas. Wow! Go, Lady Cats! There are 6 games for New Mexico football today, including Mayfield at Gadsden and Hatch at Laguna Acoma. Your Crazy Radio spot-on weather forecast for the Tularosa Basin today calls for sunny skies, winds gusting up to 20 miles per hour. Mostly clear tonight, winds gusting as high as 20. Sunny tomorrow, winds gusting as high as 22. Your high today in the Basin, 93. Low tonight of 66. High tomorrow, 92 degrees. In Cloudcroft, sunny skies today, winds gusting up to 21 miles per hour. Mostly clear skies tonight, winds gusting as high as 18. Sunny tomorrow, winds gusting as high as 22. Your high today in Cloudcroft, 71. Low tonight of 50. High tomorrow, 69 degrees. Local breaking news can be found on our website, alamogordotownnews.org, and learn more about Crazy Radio by visiting kalhradio.org. Also, check out the Crazy KALH Radio YouTube channel. That's where we post our daily newscasts, complete interviews, and other information which concerns everyone in the Tularosa Basin. Be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel if you've not done so already. That way you too can remain informed of the goings-on in the Tularosa Basin. And that concludes today's edition of Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.